Hi friends! Today I'm going to show you how to make another green recipe. This one is really easy. It tastes like a very popular candy and it's called sour grapes. You need 2 ingredients to make sour grapes. Grapes and Jell-O powder. I am using green grapes and lime Jell-O, but you can use different color grapes and you can use a different flavor of Jell-O. I have my grapes washed and sitting in fresh water, and I have my Jell-O powder dumped into another bowl. You do not absolutely need toothpicks to make sour grapes, but I think they're very handy. I also think a cooling rack like you would use to cool cookies, or if you have another type of rack to dry your grapes on, that is very handy as well. So here's how you make the sour grapes. Get a toothpick, get a grape out of the water, insert your toothpick where the stem was. We're not going all the way through. And then I am going to hold the grape in one hand and turn it while I sprinkle Jell-O powder over the top. Now that cooling rack is going to be a drying rack. And once I get my grapes made, I will put this in the refrigerator. After your grapes have sat in the refrigerator for at least an hour, you can also go overnight. They are ready just as soon as they have a crust kind of formed on the outside. And they will come right off of the toothpicks, no problem if you use them. And then they are ready to enjoy. Sour grapes. Our story today is Lousy, Rotten, Stinkin Grapes by Margie Palatini, published by Simon & Schuster. Fox eyed a bunch of tantalizing grapes hanging from a vine growing high on a tree. "Those juicy morsels are for me," he said with a grin. The problem was, Fox was only so high, and the grapes were so high. "No matter," said he. "I am sly, clever, smart. After all, I am a fox." He made a plan. Add this to that, multiply that to this, subtract here from there, carry the 2 minus the 1, and voila, grapes. Hop, skip, jump, flying leap, and no grapes. Fox climbed out from the thicket and brushed off his coat. Perhaps a bit of a boost is needed. But where to get a boost? Grunt, grunt, grunt. Fox turned. He grinned. "Why, Bear, old buddy, I say, do you like grapes?" "Grapes?" said Bear. Do I? I think I do. I think I do. Yep, I do." "Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan," explained Fox. "You stand here. I will stand on your head there. On the count of 3, you give a bit of a boost, and voila, grapes." Bear looked at the plan. He looked at the grapes. He looked at the tree. He stared at his big front paws and thought, You know there, Fox, I'm thinking maybe I could just wrap my paws." Ta, interrupted Fox. Bear, my dear dim buddy, your job is brawn, not brain. You leave the thinking to me. After all, I'm the fox. Sly, clever, smart. I know how to get grapes." Bear shrugged. "If you say so." Bear stood here. Fox climbed up and stood on top of Bear's head, there. Fox counted 1, 2, 3, and no grapes. Fox brushed off his coat and straightened his nose. Maybe a little more lift, thrust, and oomph is needed here. Bear shrugged. If you say so. Now, where to find oomph? Pat, slap, pat, slap, pat, slap. Fox peered down at the pond. He grinned. Why, Beaver, dear pal, I say, do you like grapes? Grapes? Said Beaver. Oh, yes, indeedy I do. Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan, explained Fox. Bear stands here. You stand on Bear's head, there. I stand on your tail, and on the count of 3, Bear gives a boost as you give an oomph, which brings me there, and voila, grapes. Beaver looked at the plan. He looked at the grapes. He looked at the tree. He tapped his front tooth and thought, Fox, I'm thinking if I just started chewing on that tree. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, interrupted Fox. Beaver, 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 my dentally challenged chum. You just mind the oomphing. Leave all that thinking to me. After all, I'm the fox. Sly, clever, smart. I know how to get grapes. Beaver shrugged. If you say so. Bear stood here. Beaver stood on Bear's head, there. Fox stood on Beaver's tail. 1, 2, 3, and no grapes. Fox climbed out of the brambles. Just need an inch or 2 more scooch. Fox measured this. He weighed that. He turned around and grinned. Why, Porcupine, you short scooch of a fellow. Do you like grapes? Grapes, said Porcupine. I suppose I do enjoy a grape or 2 now and then. Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan, explained Fox. Bear stands here. Beaver stands there. You stand on Beaver's tail. I stand on you. And on the count of 3, Bear boosts as Beaver oomps while you scooch, which brings me there. And voila, grapes. Porcupine looked at the plan. He looked up at the grapes. He looked at his back full of quills. Excuse me, Fox, but I have a suggestion. Perhaps if I just point my quill. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, interrupted Fox. Porcupine, my little friend, let us not get all prickly. You just be a scooch and leave the ideas to me. After all, I'm the fox, sly, clever, smart. I know how to get grapes. Porcupine shrugged. If you say so. Bear stood here. Beaver stood on Bear's head, there. Porcupine stood on Beaver's tail. Fox stood very carefully on Porcupine's back. 1, 2, 3, and no grapes. Fox rubbed his feet. He pulled a bramble out of his tail. He uncurled his whiskers. What might be helpful is a wee catch and swing, said Fox with pencil and eraser. Yes, catch and swing should definitely do it. Beaver looked at Bear, who looked at Porcupine. The 3 shrugged. If you say so. Fox spied 2 tiny eyes peeking through a bush. Oh, Possum, my dear, do you like grapes? Me? Whispered Possum shyly. Why, yes. Yes, I do like grapes. Thanks for asking. I like grapes very much. Fox grinned. Excellent. Look and listen. Here's the plan. Bear stands here. Beaver stands on bear's head there. Porcupine stands on beaver's tail. I stand on porcupine. You stand on me. So on, etc., etc., etc. Which lifts you, whose tail curls around here, then swings back to me, who I grab, ending up there, and voila, grapes. Possum stared at the grapes. She stared at the branch. She stared at the plan. Pardon me, said Possum, but it all seems so confusing and complicated. Perhaps if I... Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, interrupted Fox. Possum, 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 my pet. Now don't worry those few little hairs on your extremely unattractive head. Nothing to fret over and faint dead away. Trust me, my dear. After all, I am the fox. I am the one here who is sly, clever, and smart. I know how to get grapes. Possum blinked. If you say so. So, Bear stood here, Beaver stood there, Porcupine stood on Beaver's tail, Fox stood carefully on Porcupine, and Possum stood on Fox, ready to swing into action. 1, 2, 3, and boost, oomph, scooch, swing. No grapes. What you doing? Asked Skunk. Bless that bunch of fruit, groused Fox, crawling out from under. There is simply no possible way to get those grapes, and that is that. Possum looked at Porcupine, who looked at Beaver, who looked at Bear. I can run up the tree and toss them down, said Possum. I can aim and shoot them down, said Porcupine. I can cut them down, said Beaver. I can give the tree a shake, said Bear. Fox glared. Oh, really? Then why didn't one of you say something before? Well, Possum spoke up, after all, you are the fox. Sly, said Porcupine. Clever, said Beaver. Smart, said Bear. Very smart. Fox turned with a huff and a sniff. Well, do as you wish. I, for one, wouldn't think of eating those lousy, rotten, stinking grapes now, even if I could. They're probably sour anyway. If you say so. The end. That is a retelling of an Aesop's fable called The Fox and the Grapes. And I have here the kind of more original version of it. It has different animals, but it has a fox. And of course, a fable is a story that has a moral, which just means it has a lesson that it teaches. And this is what the moral of the story is at the end of The Fox and the Grapes. It says, the fox knew the grapes were tasty, but it made him feel better to pretend they were sour because he couldn't have them. So if you've ever heard someone say, that's just sour grapes, it's because they're talking about a person or that's maybe not got a very good attitude about something because it didn't go their way, and so they say, oh, that's just silly anyways, or I didn't really want to do that, or I didn't really like that person, and it's really just about trying to make themselves feel better, and it's usually not a very nice attitude to have. All right, for my nonfiction selection today, I have Fruits by Nicola Edwards, and of course, this is a nonfiction book, which means everything inside of it is real facts, and it has photographs, and it tells about some different fruits that we eat. Grapes actually don't feature in this book, but it's still a good one to check out if you're interested in learning more about fruit. All right, that's all the time I have for today, so I will see you next time.